Hello and welcome to All Talk No Dice, the worst excuse for a D&D show you can find online. From last we left off, the Companions of Fate fended off the small band of cutthroats who had attempted to ambush most of you on the Brine Barnacle while Gerald was occupied with his newly found love interest. Cianard aided you in this fray using her very unique skills to fill the enemies full of arrows and melting their faces with her sickly purple poisoned breath. As her decisions were made to end the bandits' lives without hesitation, a couple of you decided to take some down without any threat of death. Soon finding there were two children amongst the attackers, as Rayloff grabs a hold of one glider while Terra clotheslines the fuck out of a young girl who had just missed a couple slashes at you. However, before long, Theron had one trapped in a bubble that he was bouncing like a beach ball for a while. The young boy was knocked unconscious by Rayloff in a very sturdy boot, and the young girl was restrained by Terra. And by the time that Gerald and Adelon had returned, you had bound the children, or young teens, and the one adult man against the mast and began talking with them. Before long, the girl showed her tough girl attitude wasn't as hard to break. The grown man received a blade into his throat, and the young boy nearly became the target of some arcane bolts through his hysterical giggling. Now, just after those arcane missiles are somehow redirected to Rayloff, away from the boy, and the tension is somewhat high, Gerald uses his unnatural charm to convince the young girl who had shared her name Red to be a little more helpful and open to being friendly with all of you. And as the fresh human blood continues to drip down her face, meat bits still in her hair and small cuts from Mogwai still fresh on her young skin, while the young boy continues to laugh at this sight, Gerald's charm takes a hold of the young bandit girl. And this is where we pick it up. So, you see Red's eyes just kind of go hazy and blank before she blinks a few times, and as she opens her eyes again, you see just a very relaxed, friendly smile. Hey, Gerald. What do you need? And Gerald just kind of looks at all of you, like kind of just putting hands up slightly, just to calm it down.
Yeah, Theron's gone back to the bike. The hover bike. Just having a look at it.
The board.
The board.
Yeah, whatever it is.
The glider, okay. Hover
You
bike.
know what I mean,
Yeah, okay. So you go over to the one and you kind of just pull it to you, and as soon as you grab onto it, the arcane like infusion of the engine just kind of dissipates, or at least the glow goes dim to nothing, and the board just not falls down, but just loses that sort of, hover as you go and begin inspecting it. Is there anything you're looking for?
I just want to jig around with it. Just have a look. Try and put some of my own arcane energy, see if it does anything to the engine.
Okay, roll a...
But not too much.
Yeah.
I don't want it exploding.
Okay, roll a jiggly check with arcane.
Yeah.
Or arcana.
Jiggly check coming right up.
Yeah, here's a
Jiggle,
good job. I
jiggle.
got a plus 20 on jiggle.
Okay. Natural 20 on jiggle. No, joking. What was 11... I think the arcana is 8, so 18. No, 19.
Okay, all right. You take a look around and you find the arcane that the essence that you try and enforce onto this board is quickly pushed back at you.
Okay, like a magnetic repellent.
Yeah. As you take a look and you notice that the crystal is... there's no real kind of arcane throughout the board, but all of the focus is in this one crystal, and it is allowing it to be its engine, be its fuel, and you're unsure as to how much power or how long these can work for, but you notice as you look closer, these haven't been around for a while, and you can see where the metal plates in the cage underneath the crystal that sets it into the board. You can tell just by some fresh chips of wood around where it's bolted in. You can tell that these were only constructed maybe 2-3 days ago, at best.
Do they look like they've been sort of bodged together?
Yeah, to a degree. The boards themselves look a little bit weathered, as if they were used for something else beforehand for months, if not years. But where it's imagine like just an old used item, and then when there's something new that's been added and it's the new shiny, like it just doesn't match the aesthetic. But a closer inspection, you feel that these boards have not been constructed and around for long, and maybe the crystals or these power sources were only
they've come from another time.
Not another time, but have only just been given to whoever has constructed them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as you begin to jiggle away,
I'm intently listening on to Gerald, but I don't think I'm in the right headspace to be friends.
Okay.
So.
Well, in this moment, just as the young boy is still just and just looking over to the bloody mess of the young girl, Gerald just leans in, sort of like Cyanide just stands off to the side, knowing, not to take the spotlight away, as Gerald leans in. Now, Red, so what we really want to know is where you're going to meet. Just tell us the location that the Kopara had ordered you to meet at, and what your plans were. And the girl just like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah, right. So he told us that we should meet. We couldn't go into the Great Hall because apparently there are some things there that really you just don't want to go and meet. So the Great Hall is completely closed off, and some things are in there. He didn't really give us a description. So what he said was along the main thoroughfare that goes all the way up towards the big tree. What we're supposed to do is we're supposed to hide in the little homes and hovels just along each side, and then when you all got there, it was a choice really. It was either just string you up and keep you there, and pretty much just throw you into the Great Hall and with you all tied up, and then just wish you the best, or we just need to kill all of you and a big crossfire and ambush in the main thoroughfare as you're walking down. We can't really stay outside, is what he said. Towards the night, apparently there are things that start to drift out of the Great Hall and near the monastery. But aside from that, then it was pretty much just we just wait for you to come and we kill you and ambush and also tie up and take the queen away.
Say that last part again, sorry.
Take the queen away.
No.
Meaning.
And Red kind of turns over her shoulder a little bit, and you just hear a voice directed to you, Theron.
What was that, mate?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking out loud.
Right.
And Gerald kind of looks at her eyes again. Well, you have been very helpful so far. Is there anything else you can tell us about the location, or do you even know what's in the Great Hall?
Absolutely nothing.
And how many of you are going to be there waiting for us when we get there?
Well, last time I checked, we only left roughly about 12 of us back home, and then a few of us came here. So roughly about 30. Yeah, roughly about 30 people. Although, I don't know if I should tell you this though.
While she's talking, could I look at the guy, the boy that's laughing at us, see if any laughings have changed its tone to shit? She's giving out information we shouldn't be saying.
If anything, as she's giving it out, almost this young boy almost reveling in the theatre of the mind, the imagination of this attack happening.
Yeah.
You notice that sort of giggle.
Yeah.
Just turns into a cackle. As she's continuing to talk, he's just and just that like uncontrollable laughter, as if he's been tickled or he can't forget a joke that he heard, and it's just that constant, almost going red in the face and tears welling up, that kind of laughter, that bellyache laughter.
Okay.
And
I'm listening in, but I'm going to be focusing on this kid.
And Gerald leans in again, kind of like noticing the cackle, and at a lower hushed tone. It's okay. We're all friends here. You can tell us anything. And she just looks down a little bit, like almost conflicted in the moment.
Okay. I mean, well, you know, you need to know what's going on. You just need to make sure that you're safe as my friends. The Birdman, he gave all of us some of these like potions. He said something like, "You'll change for the better."
You'll change for the better.
And he gave us strict instructions that when we do find you and when we ambush you, if anyone isn't feeling too ready, or you're about to meet your end, then we're supposed to pop a cork and drink them. And all he said is that we'll make a change.
Yeah, I bet he did.
So, yeah. So, just fair warning, something might... We don't even know what they really do, so...
Do you have one of these potions with you?
No.
You hear Gerald in that moment. Come on, Red. Just share.
Fine. Yeah, I do. It's in my boot.
And I'll start. Actually, I'll head towards Terra, and I'll sort of just, not really rough elbow, but sort of like just knock into it. And I'll just sort of go.
I want to like turn around so my back's facing them so they can't see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull out the spyglass and just like give him the eye down to see if that's confirmation of what he means.
Yeah, I'll just nod and then just
give you a wink.
I'll put it back in, and I'll whisper into Gerald's ear. Can you try to see if you can get some of that?
Red, you wouldn't mind if we just have a look at this potion, would you?
No, absolutely not. Just in my boot.
Tara?
Yes, Captain. And I'll...
No, not that one. Not me right boot. No, that's where my rations are. Left one.
Okay.
Oh, it tickles.
I'll try to
And
hope that I don't pop the cork.
yeah,
out of
you
it.
you reach in into a boot as the boots themselves are kind of like a wide cuff, like they fit comfortably on the foot, but as it comes up to the ankle, they kind of like widen out slightly.
Okay.
So you can easily get your hand in, and you brush up against the side of a foot, causing it to like kick slightly and wriggle.
Yeah.
Before you feel a small cylindrical vial as you grab and you pull it out, and it's about 2 inches long and about I'd say a quarter of an inch in diameter. So it's a very small little thin vial, and it is full of this like brackish green sludgy liquid.
I'll slide a boot back on. If I'm feeling generous, I'll leave him tied up.
You know what? You are becoming one of the best friends I've ever had.
Thanks. I'll show Gerald. I'll give him the nod and start walking downstairs.
Well, is there anything else you want to share with us, Red? About anything, about what the Birdman said, or anything you think we should know?
Is out of interest, is Gerald close enough for me to chuck a telepathy?
Oh yeah, easy, yeah.
I'll just be like, Gerald, 1 2 1 2.
Yes, Theron, I hear you.
No, you can't talk back unless you've got telepathy.
Oh, ignore me.
Yeah, I'll just be like 1 2 1 2. Check in. Yeah, the magic that actually happened back then was to do with the clock tower. Maybe ask around that.
And he kind of just looks at you with like a knowing look and a slight nod before he turns his gaze back to Red. And just as she's about to as she's thinking, Gerald says, "Actually, have you seen, or do you know of the clock tower in that city that we're all heading to?"
Well, that's what I was just going to talk about. So the Birdman said, whatever we do, we can explore, but a few places to avoid will be the monastery, the Great Hall. Apparently, we don't really need to pay any attention to the big tree because it's all like old and decrepit anyway now, and it's just like I don't know what they said. It was dying and it was time to uproot it at one point anyway. But he said, don't even think about going up or near the clock tower. Although he said that, but then he said that's where he'll be. So I don't know. So,
Of course you would say that.
So I don't really know what he's doing up there, but he said it's too dangerous for any of us to go, so we'll just stay down here.
Well, thank you, Red. You have been so helpful and such a good friend to all of us. And Gerald just turns to the rest of you. I am going to get a drink and have a snack. Do with them what you will.
Off the side!
Off the side! And Gerald kind of like looks to Addie and kind of holds up a hand to her and she leans down and grabs his, and they just kind of wander down below deck. And I'll say at one point, do pass you, Terra. So Terra, as Gerald and Addy have left the main deck, with the you have 4 Pledrine on deck, with the lead Pledrine following Gerald down, with the orders to do with them what you will. Gerald leaves, and with all the information received, Terra, you head down below deck to use a spyglass. Okay,
Yeah,
identify. Yeah. Okay. So you identify it, and as you hold the spyglass over and you put the green, almost gunpowder on, and light it with a small little match or tinderbox, and you see like the spyglass turn that iridescent green, and instantly as you look through and you're holding the vial up, in your mind just a slurry of information just places itself inside your mind, as if you've always known that. Always.
Easy.
Mental rape.
Yeah, pretty much. You find it to be a mixture of ogre stomach bile and a small, to a degree, a small sprinkling of pretty much a small sprinkling of a arcane crystal that is, it shimmers in the liquid slightly, like sort of like a just to offset the sickly green sludge. Inside you see those little specks of cyan.
Okay.
And instantly, as that information floods into your mind, you realize that the specks of dust, of crystal dust, is very, very close to matching those of the power sources of the boards in color.
Okay.
Of the gliders. And you also figure out in your mind, as you do take a few more looks of this, you pop the cork open, you have a smell, and then you keep looking through the spyglass, and the information that hits you is it is a potion, pretty much just aptly named potion of ogre stomach bile. And you know what, I'm gonna okay. The name of the potion is overcharged bile. Overcharged bile.
It must have been expensive.
Tell me about it. But this potion is pretty much used as a last stand, last resort, and will turn your form into something stronger and amplify it. But once the potion runs out after a minute of effect, the form reduces to nothing, as well as your original form.
Okay, so it's literally the last stand until death.
Yeah.
Okay, to the point where, would I know from this vial of using the identifying
Spyglass.
Would I know that the body dies like to ash, or does it go as a lifeless form?
From what you can ascertain, again with all the new arcane information planted inside your head, the new form and your body along with it is reduced to almost a similar texture of the green sludge in the vial, in the small little vial.
To green sludge. Okay.
Now what the form is morphed into, you have no idea.
Okay.
You don't know if it varies from person to person, and you don't really you can't really get a grip on even like any kind of like like archetype of creature or beast that this overcharged bile may turn them into. But yeah, you know that it's the last resort, or it is the like pretty much the suicide charge into a fight.
Yeah. It's for people who care little.
Yeah.
Horns on the chessboard.
There you go.
Cool. Sounds lovely.
Just after you realise that, you see Gerald and Addy accompanied by the brown-haired, brown-eyed, broad-shouldered Pladrine begin walking past you on the crew deck, and Gerald just kind of stops. Have you found anything out?
Removing the spyglass away from my eye. Whatever you do, don't drink it.
Is this downstairs?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, okay.
And Gerald just looks at you and kind of like with a coy grin, but also in his eyes a little bit of worry. I wasn't planning on it.
Good. So, trying to get this thought out of my head of just, that's the worst way I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
What's the plan?
We'll see if Theron still intends to go there, and depending on how fast we get there with Addy's help, maybe we set up our own ambush for theirs, or
30 people.
Or we race to the clock tower and try and cut the head off the snake.
It's true.
But if that means going through the Great Hall, or the monastery, or near the tree, there might be some things that will slow us down, so...
Word will go out. You'll be informed.
I know.
Worth it.
Well, for now I'm going to take my thoughts. And Addy instantly says, and your greatest love. That too. For a little nap and rest. I have left the prisoners' friends. The decision of what to do with them is up to you, as my first mate.
I'll probably take his vial as well.
Well, whatever you decide to do.
No. That's fine.
I will. Both of us will join you again in just a couple hours.
I know you're very charmful. She wasn't that charmful when we were speaking to her last. What did you do?
I just have a certain way.
Okay.
I'm good at making friends. And he just like gestures up to Adelon. and at the time she kind of like kind of blushes, but then like she just pushes her chest together a little bit just to give you, not even Gerald, but just you in this moment, just a direct line of cleavage.
Get you. I see. So nothing magical.
Not really. You just have
Okay.
to know how to talk to them. Oh, and also, she's going to be charmed for just about a day. If any of you harm her or do anything harmful, she might end up slipping out of that.
Okay.
So if you do intend to do anything harmful, just make sure you get everything else you want out of her before.
No worries. That's fine.
Would you like the Pladrine to accompany you as well, or are you okay with the 4 I've left on the
I
top
think
deck?
the 4 is acceptable.
Good. Well, in that case, I have a couple hours to kill. Come on, darling. And he starts
Enjoying
pulling,
that?
and you see the Pladrine like walking in with them, until
Yeah.
and he goes around the separator wall with them until you hear Gerald. Okay, that isn't what I meant. Just wait outside and watch if you mind. I don't care. And you hear Adelon. You hear Adelon just as you are about to turn your back. You just hear, I don't mind anyone watching, my love. And you're just like, and just begin to walk out.
Yeah. Deep exhale.
Yeah.
I'm walking upstairs.
Yeah. As you
I
return.
will put the vial into the bag hole now.
Okay, so you have one singular vial of overcharged bile.
Nice.
So you return. Is there anything anyone is doing whilst Gerald and Adelon and Terra are down below deck? Or you're just waiting for one of them?
Yeah. I guess I'll go to Red. I'll just sort of take out the glider. Well, the glider, the board.
Same thing.
Yeah. How does this work?
Well, you stand on it, and then you think about going up, and you go up. You think about going straight, you go straight. Just make sure though, when you're thinking of these different directions, you hold on to the little sail part as she like gestures her eyes, and you follow. And attached to the board is again very reminiscent of the sand gliders that you had before, except this one, it doesn't really have that as much of a sail, just a little bit of cloth on either side of where your feet stick in, and almost kind of like just like two triangles of fabric that come up to that point, and the point stands roughly, I'd say, only about 3 feet up from the board, and there is like a small little crossbar in the center of that vertical beam that goes up about 3 foot. So
The Treasure Planet style, then, yeah.
kind of Treasure Planet, but set way lower. At least, even for a medium humanoid, it'll come up to like the top of that beam, or that vertical beam, where the fabric is attached to, is going to come up to like their waist or their belly button. So you can tell, even so, with a normal, like smaller humanoid than yourself, the crossbar to grab onto is more in emergencies, or if you're spinning out, or you're taking very sharp turns, you crouch down and grab on, and then almost kind of like as if you're rappelling down a wall, but just feet planted on the board and hands on this bar, kind of so you can lean out and counterbalance or anything. But
Okay, so there's a separate thing you can hold on to the where the
Yeah.
sails are. So sort of like you have a single there, and then you have that as well.
yeah, so let's say, so you got that, so you got the board, and you got the one vertical pole near the center,
Yeah.
right, coming up. It only goes up about 3.5 feet or so. So in the middle of that vertical beam, so about 1.5, maybe near 2 feet up, there's a horizontal bar that just sticks out slightly, that is almost like, I'd say, welded to that vertical beam, just so if you were to crouch down, you can hold on to that for certain maneuvers, or for safety, or as like a last-ditch effort to keep a hold of your board. The fabric on either side that comes up to that 3 foot point on the vertical beam, they don't get in the way. More so, it's kind of like making as they come from more of the front of the board to the beam, you can tell that it makes it just a little bit more aerodynamic, and makes the wind almost like a buffer for the wind not hitting you directly, but kind of just offshooting away as it hits the board, you know?
Yeah.
So a weird, but still ramshackle design, and very sort of like, in a sense, it's like haphazard, but almost genius design. As you look over and you kind of go through the possibilities in your mind about how the wind is being dispersed away from the front of the board, and how there aren't really any controls except for your own will. And again, the design is a genius makeshift design.
Yeah.
Can I use telepathy and go into Rayloff's head for a minute? Because I don't want to talk to the bitch.
Just while you're saying this, sorry,
Yeah.
Theron. While this is happening, all I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly steer the ship enough to pull back and grab the other two that are just hovering.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
And then once we've grabbed them, I'm going to turn it back on course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You're back on.
Yeah.
Back on deck.
So eventually we would grab those
Okay.
other two.
So Tara just kind of quickly passes as Rayloff. You're looking at this board and you feel a presence enter your mind, and the ship begins to just lurch ever so slowly as Tara, you kind of begin to grab
I don't
the
want
board.
to disrupt Gerald's actions.
No, so yeah, mate. Theron, you go first.
Rayloff, it's just me. In your head, don't worry. Can you ask that bitch? Don't call her by the word bitch. She might not take lightly to it, but she is a bitch. I was just wondering, can you ask her, does the Birdman use these crystals a lot?
These crystals, then. The power this, I'm assuming?
I don't really have a mind for the arcane, so yeah, power. They do something.
Seeing the Kapara use any sort of things like this?
He
Not
means
really.
the Birdman.
No.
I mean, there are like they're just these weird like these specks of that crystal in the vials that he gave us. But other than that, I mean, he might really enjoy crushing them down. But
And these gliders, you got them from him, or?
you know,
Had these before?
it's actually pretty funny. So what we had are these things that we kind of named. So basically, we wanted to have a bit more fun on the coastline, and because we never really went there often, but when we were there, we were thinking, what would it be like to stand upon the surface of the sea and just ride against the waves? So what we did was it took easily about a couple of years of just designing these things, but we made these boards that you can stand on, and you kind of like let them float and head towards an oncoming wave, and then you turn around and you just like ride it or like surf against it. So we named these very aptly boards to surf, or surfboards, depending on what you really want to say. But
You just see a bit of blood come from Theron's nose.
and yeah, he asked us to go and get these boards, took him away, and him and a couple of his people came out and gave us the boards back, but they had these weird crystals and metal on them, and these metal beams and stuff, and we kind of thought that, well thanks, but you did just ruin all of our boards to surf, you know, and it was just annoying. But then we found out that not only can we surf against the sea, we can now surf against the sky.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Out of interest, have you heard anything about something called the Astral Steps?
Not
on
at
your
all, buddy.
travels? It's worth a try.
I wasn't so good in school. I was more the kind of type that when I'm talking to you, I can take your coin purse and your house key, and
At the same time.
At the same
Yeah.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I learned. Not so much all the school and the, big brain nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
Because really, only
just-
dweebs and posh people really go for those big fancy schools anyway.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I'll try and I guess I'll take a step. I'll put one of my feet on the board where the slot goes, and I'll hold on to the sail, the vertical one, and I'll attempt very, very slowly. I will attempt to try and think of raising the board, raising up.
Okay. As soon as you put one foot on, you see that crystal go from dim and nothing to.
And as that's happening, can Theron sort of watch this intently?
Yeah. And you begin to think like a very gentle, like glide up, just a little elevation.
Well, it's just literally just that.
Yeah, and as you almost as you consciously finish thinking the idea, you notice the board has already raised up a couple inches under your foot, kind of bending your knee a little bit more, but only a couple inches. And you just hear Red.
See, you pretty much got it. Just need some time out there on the sky, and you'll be fine.
Out of interest, Rayloff, think about something that isn't up or down. Like, think about instantly teleporting to Brenton or something.
I think I'll wait for that.
It was just an experiment. I doubt that it will.
Yes, I do not want to have an experiment where I've teleported to Brenton.
Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll try to go up and down on it.
Okay,
I thought you were gonna say
you hop on with both feet, and you think about up and down slightly, and the board just and raises you up and then down.
Okay, I'll think about instantly teleporting to Brenton.
Okay. As you think about it, the board begins to just. No, it does fuck all.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to break.
Yeah.
Explode. Theron goes off the side of the ship.
Yeah, just full goofy style.
Yeah, just launches off
Yeah.
to full speed.
Featherfall. Yeah, that'll be it then. I'll bring it back down.
Okay.
I'm bored with it for now.
Okay.
However, though, I did mention to Rayloff and probably to Tara, she can hear. There's something
I'll
about
probably
something-
need you when I go back.
there's something about these crystals, guys. There's something fucking about these crystals.
You don't know.
Do you?
You have lost. You're done. Wizard boy.
What the fuck? I'm going to knock you out.
Is there any sort
What you can do? You going to cry home to mommy? Oh wait, mommy ain't there. No, daddy ain't there. Your sisters, your brother. Oh.
I don't actually have any brothers, so you fucked up there.
Oh. Just go home. Alone.
Guys,
Do I see any sort of like? Does it seem as if he's definitely not acting how he was before?
What, the boy?
As if he's been taken over by something?
if I can hear it as well, does he sound like he's being genuine, or does it sound like he's trying to piss Theron off?
Both of you roll an insight check for me.
To be fair, guys, it's not all piss Theron off his emotional wreck anyway.
True, but I mean, like, if he has some knowledge and he knows how to twist your hand, do you know what I mean?
16.
Insight 19.
Okay. Both of you very quickly ascertain that he's not being controlled by anything. There's no weird snap in him, just how he is. And Tara with a 19, you just glimpse a little further into his psyche, and you can tell that
he's an arse at heart.
He's a dick, and you can see that, like, when he says the words he does, especially about not having family, you notice that as he's pushing it, he's laughing, but in his eyes you can see almost like relatability and sadness.
Okay.
But this innate urge to push it out of any information that may have been given or he has heard or made up is just consistent.
Yeah, it's his dickishness of being able to propel a story and keep it on point.
Oh yeah, but almost at the same time, like deflecting and projecting.
Get you.
At the same time.
Okay. If I walk close
Can't
enough
hear you,
to...
Theron.
If I walk close enough to Theron, I'll say to him, don't let this...
Go on, support your friend. Just tell him it's going to be oh so okay. You've all lost.
It's going to be okay.
Does that feel better now, little wizard boy?
I'm going to... Like, not
Yeah,
kneel
I feel
down,
so
but
much
like,
better. I
look
might
more
slap your
closer
face
to
in.
his face to face. At least he's got people that want to be.
Oh, a sad monologue of support and friendship. Oh, you're so helpful. Go back and hug him. He's gonna cry.
Don't you wish you had some?
Theron just rips like some cloth and just like shoves it in his mouth.
And
then
you continue to kind of hear a muffle like...
yeah, that's fine, it's muffled.
Yeah.
And then he sort of goes in by his ear, and he's just like, "You're one step away from being a shitty wizard like me, kid."
And he is just like standing there now, gagged, and that muffled, consistent, if not chatter, that now consistent giggle is more apparent. And again, that sort of like belly aching laughter that you want to stop, but you've got the giggles and you just can't turn it off. Okay. It seems right now that like that you've interacted with him even more so, is just even more apparent and uncontrollable.
Get you.
So you still see his body kind of just like jumping back and forth and trying to like lean forward and like, you know, to try and clutch his stomach, laughing, but still tied up.
See what I've got on me. I don't see anything that I can
Well, I'll, did you say you were going somewhere, Tara?
So I've currently all I've done is I've moved the ship to a point where we've backed it on ourselves, so we can swing round and get these two boards. And then the moment we pick those two boards up, I'm casually just bringing it back round, so we're back on point. But I'm doing it slowly, so because I know that Gerald is doing this shit, and I don't want to disrupt him.
Cianard just like puts her head in between all three of you. Listen,
We have all the information that we need. Should we just not kill them now?
Yeah. But how?
Off the side.
No.
Where's Brian when you need him?
Yeah. Well, it depends how painful you want it to be.
I have a painful idea, but it doesn't sound like me.
Or I can just take them to the side of the ship and slice their throats open.
Yeah.
Theron
Yes.
walks past. Theron walks past. I know I was just about to try and kill him, but I don't really want to do this. I'll let you guys do it, and I'll go down underneath.
And as you begin walking away, you see Sinard pull her dagger out.
Theron,
Oh.
are you sure you don't want to stick around and watch? It might pour out like goat milk.
I'm sure it will with an expert like you.
What I'm definitely gonna do is I'm gonna take the vial out of his boot.
You
And
look
I'm
in his
going to-
boots and you don't find one.
Okay. I'm going to
Because he's got it in a capsule.
I'm gonna look for any coin purses that they have on them.
Okay. She has a coin
Anything
purse
that I
on
can-
the left
anything
hip,
I can grab. Yeah.
and the sheath of the scimitar.
Mhm.
The sword
I'll take the
itself.
scimitar away.
The sword itself, you can't find,
Okay, that's fine.
but you get the scimitar sheath that attaches to the belt. On him, you find a small deck of cards that look like they've been ruffled around a lot and drawn on, and a small coin purse on his hip as well, but no actual weapon. Actually, no, sorry, you do find the small, almost like a letter opener kind of dagger. It's not going to do much damage, but it's a small little concealed dagger from his boot as well.
Not a butter knife.
Just not a butter knife.
If I can remember, does I can't say her name.
Seanad,
Does
Adelon.
no the older woman,
Oh, Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit. She doesn't wear clothes.
No.
Would any of this clothes fit her in a point of if she needed to come off the ship, she could wear those clothes?
I mean, she wouldn't be able to wear anything particularly.
No.
You could drape her in like a jacket or a blanket or whatever. If she wanted to be like hidden amongst you.
Excuse me, are you talking about my sea biscuit?
Yes.
Well, no,
That
this
sounds so
is
wrong.
mentally in my head, so no.
Um,
But yes.
Get your own sea biscuit, bro.
get your own tentacled wife.
God's sake.
Well, not yet. I'm working on it.
But yeah. So as far as any like humanoid clothes, would not fit her at all.
Okay, no worries, that's fine.
Alright.
Yes. Yes.
Would you say we're close to land right now?
Backtracks map.
I will.
I think we've passed land. I
I'll
think we're closer to where we're going to than where we've come from.
Well, a better question then would be, would you say that if you were to transform someone, they would be able to reach, to fly there?
In an hour? I reckon Adelon could do it in an hour. I don't think I could change someone just to do that in an hour.
And as you're looking at the map and pointing out, Seanad like stops with her dagger for a moment and just looks back.
Okay, now what are you telling me that my daughter needs to do now?
No. Raelof had an idea.
And that was?
That's what we've just something to get to land, and It's saying that the closest is about an hour away, but I reckon Adlon could probably do that in an hour. We wouldn't be able to.
She did tell me that her and Gerald went over to the few mountain peaks on the shoreline of Ferris wheel, so, and that didn't take them too long to go or get back. I am not sure if it's over an hour, but well, you can ask her.
True, but I know they're engaged.
Then wait until they are not engaged and then ask her.
But it might be too late. That's why we're. Sorry, Gerald, reel off. The plan? You had?
Red. What
Yeah,
exactly was your plan after you finished this mission?
Well, we went around away from the Great Hall, Clock Tower, and Monastery, and we just hang around. He said that we could have complete reign over what items you have on you, so we can get some of that good stuff from you and then sell it on, whatever it's worth. But then we were to stick around and all gather up near the monastery, and he would meet us there and pay us all.
Right. Because I can tell you now, he's not going to pay you.
Well, he seemed
He's gonna
friendly
kill-
enough.
Yes, he did to us, and we almost died.
Was that your own fault, or was that really him trying to kill you?
100% him
He
trying to kill
pretended
us.
to pay us with a chest that all it had was sand in it.
Well, that was a little silly. Didn't you even check? Like, didn't you hear like the little, crinkle of coin? Or did you hear just a slab of wood and sand? Listen, I mean, we're really good friends now, but you're going to have to really pick your ears up and pay attention to things. Otherwise, you're just going to get double-crossed all the time. Maybe you need someone like me around, just to watch your back and just make sure that no one's stealing from you while they're speaking to you, because I can do that and I can see it a lot clearer than all of you probably can.
Connor, you think?
You're muted, by the way.
I've gone downstairs at this point, so I'm out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you say? You want a new recruit?
No. No, we don't.
Well,
Good, thanks.
maybe you should just ask your captain first, and then
Well,
he can make the
you see-
decision.
But when the captain's away,
Terra comes out to play.
Terra comes out to play. And my playtime means playtime for you.
Well, listen, I mean, we're really good friends, so why don't...
Well, are we?
Well,
Oh,
he isn't.
Are we?
And just gesturing over to the boy.
Why don't you just get rid of him? He's annoying as fuck anyway. And then
Yeah.
I'll stick
That's the
around
plan.
and I can help you out, with all your tactics and maybe, some like the more subtle, like sneaky kind of things that you need to get done. I mean, really, what have you got to lose? Because you've got a whole lot to gain.
I tell you what, Realoff, do you want to say anything to Red? Anything you want at all?
Why did you take the job? Really?
Because we needed money to rebuild a few of the houses and homes. We didn't
And what was it?
We didn't take any job because we thought it'd be fun. We did it because we got people at home to look after. That's all. It's what you do for your lot.
And where is it that you came from?
Just a little village. Fine. Northern end of Graldine. Just barely out of the main forest. And we got a small little settlement. It's called Haybarn. And we're just merchants and drifters. And we found a community and we were just rebuilding it.
Question.
Yes.
Do I know this girl?
Roll a history check.
Oh, snap. Rolled a
Rolled
1.
17. What did you say? History.
Yeah.
19.
Oh, nice.
Not so much the voice or the mindset, but there are certain features of her face and her hair.
She would have been
You-
probably young.
You remember to a degree, after now just gleaming in this certain light and more of the friendly aspect and face and the more relaxed face coming out.
It's your sister.
The freckles on her face almost like dancing against the sun shining down, and the darker eyes looking at you, and the red hair just falling streaks in front, but now casting to the side. You've known this face before. You've seen the smaller, younger person of what this young woman was. You remember seeing her with friends prancing across and through your forest. You remember never interacting with them just based on what your parents had told you about finding strangers in the forest, young or old. And you remember seeing a young red-haired girl, a taller but still young dark-haired boy, and a lot older blonde-haired teenager, all playing out across the dense foliage of your forest. And you remember this young girl crying and screaming out into the forest for help. And as your eyes met this small scene, you saw her leg trapped in some vines that obviously for you is second nature. You know where and where not to put your feet and how to get out of them. And you remember just watching the two other boys catch up to her and panicking, trying to tear the vines apart, trying to cut them, trying to pull her out. And just in the moment you see the innocent, scared, crying young girl in this young woman's face. And yeah, you've seen her before, and you've known her voice, and you've known her visage before.
Yeah.
I like the word visage.
Village that you came from.
Hey, Barn. Yeah?
Would you say that some of you are farmers?
Kind of. We can be anything. I mean, we've really had to do just anything and everything to start fixing the place up. And, you know, we have a few older people there. I mean, I don't really know them, but my grandparents have been gone for a while, but they're friends who are there. They need to be warm, and we need to look after them. And then, you know, a couple of the other grown-ups are, you know, doing the thing and having babies, and we need those babies looked after. And all the only reason we took any kind of job is because the money promised is just once in a lifetime, and we could look after all of our own and then some.
I'm listening in, just waiting for a lie to pop up. But so far, so good. Just making it hard. If anyone's looking at Tara's face, aka if Rail offers,
I'm not.
I'm finding it hard to think of an excuse to say off the ship anymore.
Off the side.
Off the side.
So you
Still will. She's a bit
Oh,
of a bitch. Though.
yeah, and she just looks at both of you, like all around. Listen, it's none of this was. It's nothing personal. It never. We don't know you people. You don't know us. We're clearly just taking an opportunity.
The wrong opportunity. Severely wrong.
It's been
Are
the
you
only
thought-
opportunity that we've been given.
Then I'll sort of take out the pot of pleasantness and I'll sort of hold it. This is be an offering then. Not one that you have to kill for. One that is given as a mercy. If I give this to you, you take your brother.
I don't even know the boy.
Does
Can't
he
take him, then.
remind me of the little boy that was playing with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, I'll take that as a lie in my head. Yes, you do.
Well, I mean, I know him, just not know him
No.
anymore.
Yeah. But there. Any more? Why?
Why did you ask? Why do you think that I was lying?
Just the word. Any more?
So, I mean, it's a bit of a story.
We've got
You-
the time.
Well, you probably don't want to hear it. It's really boring and nothing really happens much.
We've got time.
Well, since we're all friendly enough, when I was younger, I don't know if you metal people like you have ever known what it's like to live in a forest.
I do.
But okay, sure. So there are these things that when you step in them, they're not traps by nature, but they're just really sticky to get out of. And these like rope-like vines, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be
No.
descriptive because I don't think you know what a forest really is. You
Okay.
kind of look like you come from the sky, or you're made in someone's basement. But when I was younger, I got myself trapped in some of these vines, and we were just, me and my two brothers at the time were running around, and we were playing hide and seek at the start. But as I was running to find a place to hide, I got my leg trapped and I started calling out for help because yes, I'm really tough and I can look after myself now. But when I was a lot younger, I had to call out for help, and when they both found me, they helped me out, and then Jay, my older brother, said, let's go play at the stream, and let's play tag at the stream. And that's what we did. We went to one of the small streams that were passing through all the green, and we were only about half a mile away from home. So we thought, well, if anything happens, if we start drowning or getting swept away, then we're close enough to get help. But while Jay and me were chasing each other around, and this one was chasing us too, there were a couple of these rocks that just went across the stream. You know, the kind that you see and you just need to jump on and hop over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, me and Jay made the hop, and they didn't. And you can kind of tell when she looks over at the brown-haired young man. You kind of like see her just look over just to acknowledge him, just to gesture towards him, but do her best to not look directly at him anymore. And you see her eyes are kind of like she like gestures her head over as she's like looking more at the ground, and not wanting to cast her gaze on him.
Okay, like she off that visual description, like she blames him for their not making it over.
So far, you can kind of imagine she blames him for him not making it over, but he is the one who fell. As she continues.
Okay.
And he caught his toe or caught his foot on the second rock, and his body just went thrown so far forward, and he hit his head really hard, like a really dull thud against the stone, and he started bleeding a little bit, and he shook a little bit, and so me and Jay decided that we need to get him back home. And when we got him back to our mother, she looked after him for the next few days while he came around, and when he did, he was just gone.
Whoever was gone.
Whoever he was before, he was just different in the head. My brother was not there anymore, and what was left was that.
And you see him still, just in that muffled.
Get you. I'm going to stand up, look around for a hard, blunt object. Is there anything that would resemble, if I hit him hard enough, it would feel like his head hit the ground?
I mean, a sturdy enough piece of wood, or maybe like the handle or pole end of Realof's halberd would be closest.
I'm going to suggest Ralof. In fact, I'm gonna. No, it probably won't work. Ralof, could you pointing at the handle of his halberd and then towards the boy? Could you give him a good old? What about hearsay?
What?
I'm going to try to reenact the injury.
And you see this boy is still with the cloth in his mouth, gagged, still shaking, and
or instead, why don't you try using some magic to maybe restore any sanity that he might have had?
I have none. Assuming you don't have any.
and
Or meta.
Cyanard's just like holds a dagger up. I have plenty of magic to deal with this.
Do you think you could?
Sort him out, yes.
Perfect. Do you wanna?
We're not killing him.
The captain said,
Do what
we want.
But this is what we want.
So now you don't want him to die.
Well, at least try. And then worst case scenario, we can kill him. That's what she wants. Pointing at the girl.
And Sinard turns to the girl. And is that what you want, Red? Do you want your brother back? Or do you just want us to get, while swinging the dagger in her face, do you just want us to get him out of the picture so it's a nice, easier life for you? And Red just like hypnotized by the dagger, and then looks back up at Sinard as she stares intently into the Dragonborn's eyes.
Yeah.
I just want him gone.
Okay. I'm okay with what happens next.
Also, meta-wise, I thought you had lesser restoration.
I do, but I don't think it does.
Well, if it's a madness, it would cure it.
Lesser restoration.
Pretty sure.
Yes, sir. That's just my what was it?
Well, you could try it.
Disease or condition.
That's what I was referring to, anyway.
But condition is like you're poisoned. This would be if DM would say condition would be brain trauma.
I mean, just going off of the vial of madness.
You can give it a try. I don't mind giving it a try.
Recovered by.
You're gonna have to do something quick then.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying to do. But
okay.
It's up to you whether you wanna.
I feel like me not knowing that that's what you were implying. I would have preferred you have told my character.
I mean, I wouldn't know what that is. I would just know you can restore some people some way.
Okay. I only have it through the Staff of Healing, and I've never used Lesser Restoration yet.
I thought you have. Never mind.
I've only used Healing Word and what's the other one?
It doesn't matter then.
Spell on it. Greater Restoration. Unless that's what you meant.
Did you not use something for Kurad?
Actually, yeah, you would have used Restoration on Gurad.
Yeah, Greater Restoration.
Oh yeah, it's still.
Okay.
Well, what are you doing?
No. I'm going to do nothing.
And just as Red announces her wishes, Seanod, without even looking back at any of you, she stares just at Red and leans in with almost a smile now. A decision has been made. You chose the right one. And you just see, like, almost in a flash, that Seanod hurls the dagger up and just, like, catches it in her hand with the blade facing away and just sinks the dagger into the side of the head of this young man. And you just see that just limply drop and just ragged a little bit as the dagger is pulled out from Seanod. And she just looks at the dagger. You have made the best decision, Ed. Stick out your tongue. And you see Red is kind of like almost like relieved, but still shocked by the sight. Yeah. And she just very daintily,
Are you sure? I am always sure, now stick out your tongue.
If she goes to try and attack her, I'm going to try and block it.
okay. And Cynod raises the dagger up to her face just so she can see all of the viscous crimson dripping down.
You will remember this moment for a lifetime.
And she just glides the flat of the blade against her tongue. Against Red's tongue. And you just see left there is just some of the blood from her brother just dripping off of her tongue.
Now close your mouth.
Bless you.
And remember, you dealt with this problem. You killed your own brother. But it is a better world without him in it. Do you understand me?
And Red just...
I understand.
And as your focus shifts between Cynod slowly creeping into the mind of Red, while the young man's now limp body is strung up by the rope, keeping him to the mast. His head hung and tilted to the side as that large gash in the side of his temple continues to just splutter and just pour out bright, fresh crimson. That is where we're going to stop for now and take a quick break and come back in just a short while to pick up from there, and whatever is decided to be done, whether more torture or killing, or maybe this is the happy friendship arc now.
Hell
You
yeah.
know.
Oh yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, after we've gotten rid of all the killing, now is the friendship time, the happy time.
Now is for more
Yeah.
killing.
Off the side.
Off the side.
Mostly. We don't need more body.
But yeah, to anyone
You are the
who,
Winky son.
Make a
Goodbye.
little cannon. Make a little cannon so any dead bodies we have can boom.
yeah, this is the OTS cannon. Off the side.
Theron will get working on it straight.
Yeah, exactly. To everyone here, thank you so much for watching up until now. We hope you've enjoyed the show so far. It's pretty fucking grim, but it's pretty fun at the same time. So we hope you enjoy the mix just as we do. But we are going to take a quick break now to go get some snackies and use the bathroom. So you go do the same, and we will see you back in just a short while. Hello and welcome back. As we come back into the game, the Companion's fate, after dealing with the onslaught from the bandits attacking them on these very makeshift arcane gliders, just after you had finished just removing some of them and tying others up and keeping them hostage, one was killed. And then your attention turned to the charmed humanoid of Red, the young teenage girl who was part of the bandits, alongside the young or a little bit older teenage boy who was with her, who has been cackling and laughing and just hysterically being a nutcase, making no coherent sense. And after you had gagged him, after some of his brazen teasing, and Red was charmed, you gained, with Gerald's questioning as well as all of you piling on, you've learned a lot of information about what the Kopara had set up for when you get to Girolf, and the alleged or planned ambush that was set up. The mysterious vials of liquid that are set to push your death but a minute away, but go out in some kind of monstrous blaze. You also learned of Red's past somewhat being tied into Tara's life growing up. And through a unfortunate accident in the forests that Tara grew up in, Red found her brother changed. And after going through different scenarios between you on what to do with both of them, after Red had pleaded her case to stick along her friends and help you out where you need to, pushing that her skills rely on stealth and activities of more hidden nature. She declared that she just wanted her brother gone, and at that point, Cyanard, the queen of New Draconia, who had found you and somewhat bonded with all of you as adventurers, took it upon herself, and as those words were uttered, she drove her dagger into the side of the head of this young man, leaving him limp and lifeless, and making sure that Red tasted some of her brother's blood that was dripping down the side of her dagger.
Gosh.
And just as Cyanard finishes reminding her that she killed her brother and she decided this and it'll be a better place without him here, she pulls away, and you see Red, still tied up, is kind of like, I know, yeah, thank you. And Cyanard just leans forward. Thank you, what? Thank you, my queen. You are very welcome. Just remember who is in charge, and you be a good girl and do as you say from now on. Yes, 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 my queen. And this time she does turn her head, and she just catches herself and she stares directly at the now dead body of her brother. And just in this moment you see the smallest smile come upon her face.
Like, kind of like a peace at last.
Mm-hmm. Very well, so what are we going to do with this one now?
Also, I'll bring the glider to him, not even looking towards the queen or Terra. It's gonna hold it next to her. I'm gonna hold the pot out. Hit this. Take it back to your family, friends, and with this, it can grow a seed every day. Well, a plant every day. It's random what it is, but it can be anything. If you use this, you can easily start growing up a farm of many different things. And you'll be set for life.
You are so kind. Thank you.
If I give you this, you have to promise you will just go to your home and your village and just stay there and don't try anything like this again. Don't let anyone else do it in your village.
Well, I mean, I could do. Or, you know, you could keep me around just to help and earn some coin and then I can leave. Because I really can't go back without something.
Something?
Money.
How much?
Well, we were expecting the amount that he promised us.
Which is?
He said 300 platinum would be for our entire village so we could rebuild and, you know, look after everyone.
Great, the money thing. Do we even have 300 platinum?
We probably do.
Ah.
I will just glance over mentally how much we have, but I'm going to look on how much we have. 300 she needed.
Yeah.
And it's a 10. It's 10 to 1 ratio in it.
Yeah.
To gold to platinum.
So it'd be 3,000 gold.
Or, you know, maybe all this happened for a reason. So, for me to join you and, you know, make my life about adventuring with all of you and sticking and maybe just staying on the ship or venturing out with you, and then I could send money back home.
Ambush.
And
going into an ambush.
Well, I know a lot more about the ambush than some people.
True.
We know
These your friends and that are going to it.
Listen, except for some old family members that are kind of neither here nor there anyway now, that are still at home. Other than them, I didn't really have many friends. My mother kept pushing that I had to look after him at home and keep him away from people and try and teach him or speak to him. And I didn't really have any friends back home. And the family that are still there are going to be gone soon anyway. But I can still send money back home. But help you out as well and maybe live a life worth living. I mean, we're all friends here now. I don't know why it's really a hard decision.
It's because you came to us attacking.
For money. I don't know you now that I know you a little bit better, then I wouldn't have attacked you. What do you think I held back before?
Hold back? You ambushed us. That's no holding back.
My people ambushed you.
You were included.
I held back.
People.
I mean, do you seriously think I don't really know how to use that scimitar.
Yes.
I'm
Calling a bluff.
a lot better than you think.
Okay.
I didn't want to
missed.
hurt any of you. I just wanted... If anyone was going to get hurt, I wanted my friends to hurt you and then we get paid. I didn't want to hurt any of you. I didn't even want to come along. But my father said that me and my brother were going. So we had to go. Or I had to go to make sure that he was okay. And I don't want to constantly be looking after that. I want my own life. You know? That's all I want to do. Mm-hmm.
Would I know that... Because I know Gerald said it to Terra, but would I know like if I hit them or did something harmful to them?
No.
It would break it? No. Doesn't matter then.
Just think about it, okay?
Yeah, we'll think about it.
And what's your answer?
We gotta think about it.
You're thinking about it already. Just...
I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about it later.
But we're friends.
We are friends for now.
What does that mean?
We might choose to cross paths some other time.
Okay.
What you're doing is right. You're earning money for your town. It's nice of you. Just, it's how you're doing it.
Well, it's not as if they asked me how should we do this and I came up with a plan. We took an opportunity to help our home. That's it. Yes, it's not the best thing to do to people, but when you are... I don't expect you to understand this, but when you are struggling, you've got nothing, then you'll take any opportunity that looks even slightly promising.
Yeah.
Now, can you just please untie me?
That is not gonna happen.
Why?
Even though we're friends, I don't know you enough. And the ambush is the big thing.
So what's the plan? Just keep me here tied to a mast for the next few days?
Not a few days. What do you think, we all savage?
Some of you.
Yeah. But how else are you meant to listen?
With my friend asking me to listen to them, and I listen.
Yeah. And you are now.
I'm gonna start going towards... Well, I'm gonna start untying her arms.
You are
Right,
going to start and tie your arms. Okay.
I'll put the pot away, but I'll also move the... Well, what I'll do first is for the other boards, are they just sort of floating at the minute, or would you have like put them in your bag?
Tara has sort of like, I guess, turned them off to a degree by grabbing them, and well, have you set them to the side?
Yeah, they would have been probably where the... What is it? It's the steering...
Yeah, just towards the stern of the ship.
Yeah.
They're all set just around where the steering wheel is at the stern.
Yeah, I'll sort of push the one I have to Terra then, and I'll just sort of go back, just start untying, but I'll sort of hold onto her arm as I'm doing it.
As you untie the ropes.
Thank you so much. You're a really good friend.
And as the hands come free and the ropes become slack, you just hear of the young man's body hit the ground limp.
Oh yeah, they're all tied, yeah.
Thank you so much. Now listen, we can all talk as friends. Yeah?
Bless me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now we are friends. So why don't we just work together?
Have you ever heard of Madame Ortho's Odysseys?
No?
No. I know word that the owners are pretty good.
Yeah?
Why wouldn't you have just worked there? Have you looked around the town, or have you just been playing about?
I couldn't get away from the town.
Dude is in the town.
After his accident, I couldn't even leave home.
So why didn't you just take him with you?
Would you take that with you? To go and look for work?
If you had to.
He terrified most of the people, let alone just the children. There's no
You've got
chance.
nothing else to lose.
Opportunities to lose.
That would have been an opportunity.
That I would have quickly lost if he had been right next to me and
But
with
they
me
would
all
have
along.
been, but they would have been able to help you out.
How would they have even helped me out?
They could have helped you out.
Well, that was not an opportunity that came, so we took this one. And now I'm taking.
Just trying to say it's a bad one.
I'm taking the opportunity to ask all of you to give me a chance.
A chance of what?
To live.
Until the next opportunity arises?
I mean, it really depends on who's paying more.
Well,
That was a joke.
I'm not taking that as a joke.
Just let me take this opportunity. And I'll help you with anything you need.
Knowing Gerald has told me the charm lasts for 24 hours. You've got 23 hours. Prove me right, and we might let you go.
Okay then. What do you want to know about me?
Just be trustworthy.
I had two brothers. One got up to his 18th name day and died. The second one is now dead. He had an accident, changed him forever. My mother, who was a seamstress, told me to stay home with him. My father, my mother hasn't really told me much about him, but he's just some drunk in a little portside town in Westerham. And then the extended family is probably across the world at this point.
Is there a way for you to tell the people back at where we were going to meet information to say if you had us or if you'd killed us?
Not really.
So how would they know if you were successful?
Well, they wouldn't until we got there.
But how would you have told?
Now I incite that.
Sure. What are you inciting about?
Seeing if she's lying is her if she had another way to communicate with them.
Okay. Roll insight for me.
18.
She's being completely honest. To her knowledge, there is no other way of communicating.
But how would he have known when we were there that you were successful?
Because he'd see us coming in on the ship instead of you.
So maybe you have to control the ship going in.
And pretend that we were successful.
Mm-hmm.
And where will all of you be?
In the lower deck, maybe?
Okay. So what do we do then? Do you just hide?
Oh, I
do
don't
you
know.
just hide
We
and,
would have to.
and wait?
That's
or...
the information that you would need to tell us because we've never been there.
Well, neither have we.
So what would we expect? Well, you must have came from somewhere.
I came from Graldine. This is the furthest away from home I've ever been.
Yeah, same here.
But you came from the sky. You were made in a dark room, weren't you?
No. I was born into life.
Okay.
I understand my complexion shows others otherwise.
Slightly metallic complexion.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a tad. Maybe
Little bit.
more iron in my diet than I would like to admit.
Probably a little excessive.
Just a tad. But I can remember my youth perfectly and brimming of life.
So, right, okay. We get there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the helm.
Yeah.
And we get there and I get off of the ship
Mm-hmm.
and tell everyone to come out.
Yeah.
And not to worry, we were successful. I was the only one that survived.
Yeah. Sadly, your brother died.
Right, yeah.
Say that first.
Yeah. And then,
But say something stupid like he died an honourable death or something.
right, yeah. And then, I can tell them all to go on the ship and take whatever they want.
Yeah.
And when they start coming down,
Suggest a particular room
yeah.
that we will be in.
And when they all funnel down, you kill them all.
Yeah, exactly. Wave by wave.
Sounds
like
good.
our plan.
Sounds good to me.
Cool. So what we'll do is we'll wait until say either a couple of hours or maybe tomorrow. We'll wait for the captain to confirm that is what we're doing, and then we'll take him from there.
Great.
So what things do you do in your spare time? Obviously, like playing, and are you good at anything?
I'm not a little girl. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Okay, but I don't know much the little girls do other than that. So.
Neither do I, because I'm not a little girl anymore.
So what do you do?
Well, I like to do target practice.
Okay.
And play with my dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all I had time for.
Okay.
Where did you learn to fight then?
Well, my father taught my mother a little bit because he kept, at least the stories I've heard of him, he kept saying he was part of this adventuring group that was so fierce and he was the leader, you know? And he was the one who would teach everyone to fight and everything. So he taught my mother a little bit, and then she taught me a little bit here and there, but mainly it's just self-taught.
Right.
Okay.
Show me that.
I'm going to let her stay with Rayloff, and I'm going to make sure that we're definitely going in the right place.
Okay.
Heading in the right place.
Yeah, you correct the course and everything. You just
Yeah,
double check and make sure everything is perfect, and you continue sailing on.
What do you mean, show you?
Oh, do a spa here, couldn't we?
I-
So I could see.
I don't really know how sparring with blades works.
Well, if you think of it like this, it's just. It's basically a fight without it being. It's more to see just prowess rather than being a fight for fighting's sake.
Okay. See, usually I do the thing where you don't know I'm coming.
Right. So it's not really something you could show.
Not really, until there's a situation that comes up.
Right.
But I can always just do a little bit of, face-to-face stuff.
Yeah.
Who am I sparring with?
Theron comes out. It's me. No joking.
Oh, since Terra's busy and also Luke, I'm assuming I'm never gonna remember her name.
Leonard.
Leonard's sort of just either gone down a
She,
lower deck.
she's still standing there.
Okay.
When I would have turned around and head towards the steering wheel of the ship, did she look like she agrees with anything that we're saying? Or is she down for, I want to kill this person? Even if it was just that brief look.
Roll an inside check with a disadvantage for a passing glance.
5, so insight. Insight, did you say, sorry?
Yeah.
9.
You're not sure whether she's just happy with the entertainment, whether she agrees or disagrees with what the plan is. Almost kind of disinterested in the plan itself. But enjoying herself.
Cool, that's fine. At least she's not wants to go away. Don't want a second period on hands. That's cool, no worries. Thank you.
I guess you could just spar with me then.
Rayloff. Now,
Yeah.
I am a very skilled fighter, so I think that maybe I might be a little bit outclassing this young girl, and I am just a little bit too fierce, so I think you are right. Maybe we need someone more like you to spar with her, Not too fierce, a little bit cuddly.
Right.
Good old cuddly Rayloff.
That we know and love.
So, yeah, I mean, we can spar a little bit. How does this work?
How about we go until one person lands a clean hit on the other?
Okay.
And straight away, she pulls 2 blades from her belt and just launches both of them at you. The first one is a 17 to hit.
Nope.
Natural 20
Damn.
on the second.
End of fight.
That's it's 11 points of piercing damage. And if you want to continue, then you can roll initiative for me.
Yeah, sure. I mean, would I technically be able to react to that?
I'd say,
no, I'd have to rage.
yeah, so,
really.
well,
No, I'll leave it then.
okay. Have you rolled initiative? If you want to continue, or are you calling it at that?
Yeah, I'll do one more, so that.
Okay, fuck it.
21.
21, yeah, you start off straight away. Alright, so you, just as one dagger just past you and the other sticks in to the side, and you just feel that, and then you just look up her and she's kind of like smiling slightly, and as she reaches behind her back, just getting ready, you can at least Tara.
Yeah.
You're still around, aren't you? And Theron is.
Yeah, I'm close
No,
to be able to see, but not enough to.
Theron went downstairs.
Yeah, okay. So Tara,
Yeah.
you see Red kind of like reach behind her back, and you've only just noticed till now because a lot of the sheaths and clothing kind of like merges into one, so you don't. So yeah, it just obscures everything. And you notice as she grabs onto this handle, you see almost like a kind of like a Bowie knife size blade, like a thin handle coming up to like a very wide, like toothed blade that comes to a gentle point that is resting on the back of her waist.
Cool.
But Rayloff, you see her look up and she's kind of like, was that good?
Yeah, I'm gonna. How far away would she be?
I'd say she's about 15 feet or so.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start. I'll start running towards her.
Do we have any visual aid?
No, you do not.
Son of a bitch. Okay, no worries.
Theater of the mind,
And then-
bitch.
I'm just gonna do sort of a clothesline as I'm doing that,
Okay, so
and then I'm gonna hit it again.
okay, so after the dagger sinks in, you just pull it out, and you just charge 15 feet. And holding your arm out, you go to clothesline. Roll an unarmed strike for me, please.
I'm just going to grin, thinking, ha 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 ha.
Okay.
Inspiration from me.
Yeah.
That's a 2. Well, 11.
11 just barely misses as you notice, just as you just railroad towards her and across, she very adeptly just ducks underneath at a very rapid pace before she comes back up, just waiting to dodge the next one. And your second unarmed strike, how are you doing it?
For God's sake. Well, it would have been sort of an uppercut as I missed. I'm gonna use the inspiration because I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Screw it. That's a 19.
19 definitely hits.
That's 6 damage.
Okay. You just uppercut and crack her just in the corner of the jaw, and she why? Why'd you do that? And she's just going to launch her hand around, grabbing the blade out of the back, and you see this large, almost kind of like with legal edges, like a Riven-esque sword, like how blocky it is, but just condense it down to a dagger size, and she just hurls it across.
I will remind you, now that she has been whacked, Charm is now...
Oh, actually no. It's another DC save. You know what? Okay,
She doesn't say that.
Gerald, when you watch this back, just know she rolled her DC save for the charm and was one below succeeding. She is still charmed.
Woo, Gerald.
Who is smashing some ass as we speak.
Yeah.
But she hurls this large dagger twice across, trying to whip at your chest. First one definitely is missing with a 9. And 16. I know it doesn't hit you. The first one, easily kind of just step to the side, and then the second one is getting on target. You just crack across away with your elbow. Your turn. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. After that, I'll just sort of take a step back. I'm just gonna do
I want
sort
to.
of leaning into that. So after that crack, I'm just gonna go.
Okay.
nibble
Alright.
it.
Go for it.
And as this is happening, Theron comes up the stairs because he's a big boy running.
Yeah.
And I've got Mind Sliver prepared.
Okay.
So 25 and 15.
25 hits.
The 15 doesn't.
No.
Okay. So that's just the one. So just another 6 then.
Another 6. You just crack again as you go for the 1-2. The one misses as she darts to the side, and just as you hear footfalls behind you as Theron comes up, you notice her eyes for a millisecond look to the side, and just as she looks away, you nail her with a second one as you lean in and push, and her body just goes with her head onto the ground and just woozy and partly conscious, partly unconscious.
Guys, are we good?
Sort of lean down and just sort of sort of like put her head sort of straight, just sort of try and help.
Yeah, we're fine.
If that counts as the end.
What's happening, Tara?
Yeah, we'll call that fair fight.
Also, another save.
They were just having a duel.
It's time to
You!
You know, I can't get out of mind. It's time to duel. No, 11. Still charmed,
Surprises me.
but she is partly unconscious now. I'd say just at the 0 hit point level where it's like you're unconscious but you're not dying, like stabilized
yeah.
almost. But yeah, Theron, after you see her dark brown eyes, or sorry, her dark green eyes, snap towards your direction when you came up, you just see her body slam down on the deck, and just standing over is one sort of like mid-punch Rayloff. And as he curls back and then lays down to her, you approach and you just see her flat out unconscious after some mumbling.
Guys, what the fuck just happened?
And then you turn your eyes to the mast, and just slumped down, leaning on his own face, is that younger boy with a huge gash across the temple that is still just ever so gently just leaking out more crimson.
I'll just be like, no, just child killers. Fuck.
I thought that was a very good spar.
So, guys, are we keeping this one or what?
We'll keep up for now.
She seems useful.
So, what was wrong with the other one apart from there's a Nate annoying,
Oh,
fucking laughing?
that one was broken.
But his death is on her. And this is pointing at the girl.
Just like the
not
rest,
Sinan.
and I'm just gonna walk off.
Well, that's one of us gone. Hey, while Ralof is gone, should we just throw her over the side?
She is quite useful. There is a possible plan. So maybe give it for now.
What are we doing with the broken one?
Off the side! Off the side!
They can go off the side.
Well, wouldn't we want it to be a bit more respectful and a lot more useful in his death?
If you think there is a better, useful, and nicer way of putting the death across,
Very
I
much
have
so.
no idea.
Let me go get her.
Okay.
And she begins to go down below deck. And after some muffled shouts...
Is there any buckets? Sorry.
Yeah, you got plenty
I'm
of
gonna
buckets around.
I'm gonna get a bucket and I'm gonna open up his wound more to
Fuck's sake.
feel some more of
Okay,
this crimson into this bucket.
A lot of it is now sunken into the wood below. But as you kind of just pivot his head up and you just get your fingers just in there and just begin to and just tear open. Yes, a lot of crimson begins to and just fill this small wooden bucket. And I mean there is quite a few chunks of brain matter in there.
Lovely.
But you get this small bucket.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, pretty much near full to the brim after a few moments of cracking his head open more and allowing and kind of tipping, moving his body and squeezing, almost like like a little tube of toothpaste. Yeah, just wringing the body out a little bit.
No biggie.
It's very disturbing for anyone to watch.
Yeah.
And on that note, Theron's still got his mind sliver active.
Yeah.
And he'll just be like, Terra, you best have a good reason for splitting some guy's head open and taking the blood.
I think Gerald has some vials. I was gonna ask him to fill it up because I think one of my spells have a particular blood in it.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Roll insight.
I'll roll deception.
Yeah.
It's a natural 20. Deception of +1, 21 if you can beat it.
No, I rolled a 14 plus. What am I after insight?
Yeah.
No, 17 altogether.
I did roll well, which is nice, but it's trash. So it's a +1.
So all of the information that Tara's just given you, she's being honest.
If he's crazy, I wanna know. Maybe we could use it.
Don't believe that, man. Oh yeah, let me have a look at the brain.
I got a pelican with a little stick. No.
I was a doctor in my previous life, yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's when we jabbed the brains with sticks. Look at
Tara.
jiggle, jiggle.
Terra, I don't think you'll find the light in there somehow.
Well, I know that.
It's still rather creepy while you're taking blood.
I understand. I just didn't want to cut him again. I just thought keep one hole.
So this blood's for a spell, you say?
Just to put in vials. For now, I just didn't know on how big the vials were, so I thought if I gather a lot.
Okay. What spell is this for?
It's for spells.
I'd like to know which spell.
I can.
spells?
Just at this moment, 3 sets of footfalls come up to the top deck as you... 4 sets of footfalls as you see Cianard, Addy, Gerald and the Pladrine all surface back up.
Gerald, could I nick some of those empty vials that you have?
And he kind of looks down just at the bucket for a second. Absolutely. Take here's 6.
Oh, fantastic!
Just see what you can do with those.
Oh, perfect, thank you. And I'll just like ickily try to get as much of the blood in of these vials as I can without touching the brain matter.
Yeah. It kind of like a soup when you dip a spoon in. Some of the bits want to get onto the spoon, but you kind of just like put like a finger over the lid just enough so then the liquid is going in, but it's not like sucking in any of the bigger bits. And a couple of times you pull the vial out, shook it, and you see like just a little bit of brain and just pour it back out and then go again.
So this blood is for Gerald?
No, it's for me. It's just like he
So
had the
why...
vials. I just don't have any on me.
Bit curious.
She knows that I very often carry vials and glassware for any kind of study, along with anything arcane, or usually through my own bardic theatrics that I like to throw up. So just working on.
I'm riding hard on this one. Another insight check, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, on Gerald.
Yeah, no, but
Would it be with advantage because we're both now in play?
I'd say a deception check with advantage. Yeah, either one each or advantage.
100% on Gerald with advantage.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Let me just get.
I'm pretty
why
sure
do you get advantage? Just because you don't want to tell me?
Because both of them are actively against you. So you don't have disadvantage, but they just have advantage on the deception check.
17 plus whatever it is.
What's it plus 3?
Yeah, it was, yeah. 17, 18, 19, 20.
Okay, well, I rolled a natural 14, but that deception is plus 8. So that is 22.
What's your ball? You're not good at outskill a ball.
High five.
You just see the small little of a high five. Yeah.
But to Theron, this does look a bit dodgy, though.
Of course, it looks a little bit suspicious. It looks really suspicious and shady. Yeah, but you do believe that it's for good intentions. And in that moment, Cyanard says, "Okay, well, as much fun as this has been, we must make our way and leave all of you to it."
Question: does Gerald have prestidigitation?
Prestidigitation?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Let's have a look. Spells.
Yeah, he does, because he used it to light on fire. Yeah.
Gerald, are you okay cleaning these vials while I go and wash my hands?
Absolutely, of course.
Thank you. You can keep them with you if you want, and I'll grab them when.
Oh yeah, you're selling this good, aren't you?
Just, I'll keep him safe.
Really, more dodge.
Thank you.
I'll keep him safe.
I'm gonna start heading downstairs.
Just come and get them whenever you need them.
Thank you, will do.
Oh, Tara, as you pass me, I'll just press to digitize your hands for you.
Ooh.
And get the blood off. There you go, Tara. No need to go anywhere.
That's fun. Thank you.
You might as well take the vials of blood yourself now, eh? And I'm just smirking.
Do you want me to? I can now.
That's fine, sure. You take them.
In fact, yeah, cool, thanks. I'll put them in my bag of holding.
Just make him look more dodgy.
Eddie, I'm glad. I'm sorry for interrupting downstairs. And you hear Adelon in this moment. It's fine, Mother. I was just swearing my soul to my one great love. Yes, you may have walked in and interrupted something, but just know that we are now one. And Gerald is just standing there, just looking up at both of them with sort of like a very wry smile. Yes, yeah, we are one. I didn't do anything wrong. As Cyanide just looks down at him. I'm going to choose to believe you this time. But, Eddie, I have a snack for you, and we do need to leave very soon, now. So I want you to say your goodbyes, and I will say mine. Have a few minutes, okay?
Terror.
And Addy straight away goes, Thank you, Mother. And grabs Gerald's hand and instantly races him back down below deck.
Yes,
Terror.
everyone?
Isn't there something you wanted to ask Eddie?
Yeah, sorry.
I think she's already gone downstairs, but
Sorry, did you say she went with she pulled Gerald
Yeah.
back? Okay, I am 100% not going down there.
What's...
excuse me, Eddie. I know you're knocking off Gerald, but
I know you're head between the legs. What?
Excuse me, I know I have your mouth full, but can you do me a favour?
I'm just wondering if I could have a moment of your time.
Time. Cnard looks at you. What was your request of Addy again?
It was to see if she could get to any land destination. Is like, how fast would she be able to get there if she's already experienced? How
And
fast she got
just
there?
explain to me why you need to know how far away land is.
Well, that's what Rayloff was starting the question off, and then that's when you overheard us use the Addy's name.
Right.
So I actually don't know.
So,
At
Rayloff,
that point.
why do you need to know how far the land is away?
Oh no, I've gone downstairs.
Why? Where is anyone?
I-
As soon as it's a time to say goodbye, everyone leaves. Listen, if you want to make progress a little faster,
Mhm.
just between us, and Theron, you're there, aren't you now?
Mm-hmm.
She leans into both of you, just between us,
Leaning slightly forward.
and she just hands you a small potion bottle with like a round bottom and a small cylindrical
Yeah.
neck. If anything, just sprinkle a little bit of that onto your engine.
Oh, I thought you would totally go and say something else then.
I am not like my daughter, although I have been known to have a wild side, but decades ago. So you missed out. Sorry.
I just wink at her. Shame.
Engine.
And you just see like her part of her tongue just at you. Sprinkle a little on the engine, and it do not do too much. It is almost like an amplifying source. Basically, it's usually me and Addy will use it if she is flying and it is a long distance and she's beginning to become fatigued. It is pretty much a huge adrenaline boost to help her keep going and faster, stronger for a period of time before she does need to rest, and at that point do not keep using it
Okay.
because it will hurt something or someone. And if you want to, you can label that in your inventory as a potion of sapphire adrenaline.
Sounds kinky.
Oh yeah. You should
I
have seen
wonder,
it.
I wonder if they're using it downstairs right now.
Hey, listen, you were talking about kinky. You should have seen last campaign.
Literally.
All right.
Yeah, Cnard is a sloot to a degree. But use this sparingly.
Shame I did miss out then.
Yeah.
She's quite literally a prostitute. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
she was. Yeah.
The best prostitute.
Yeah.
Not as though she's shitty,
But she leans in again. Just use it only sparingly, and that will help you cover the distance in a much lesser time.
Awesome. So we could actually use it on the ship's engine.
You can use it on the ship's engine, on your own engines.
Nice.
And also, a little trick is just a couple drops onto someone's tongue if they find themselves fatigued or you've been up so long that you start to feel exhausted. A couple drops of this can instantly jump them out of that exhaustion.
Only up to an hour. And then they do need to crash and they need to sleep for a while. But yes, we have used it so when Addy gets exhausted, a couple of drops or a little chug depending on how big you are, and it will help you jumpstart you back up for a little bit of time.
Out of interest, Your Majesty, what if we need to get in contact with you?
Well, that is one point I was going to wait to save for everyone else to hear, but if you... one, thank you all very much for the help with those sky serpents before. I will not be forgetting any of your faces.
And thank you for also helping us as well.
You are welcome.
I was just going to say, like, if we die there and they're still after you, then...
When I'm home, I have more than enough protection. That is not an issue.
Yeah, that's true.
But
That's
How do
true.
you need it?
exactly,
Well, yeah, true.
I am what you call a badass motherfucker.
I know.
I've never heard that phrase in my own tongue, but in common, apparently it's supposed to mean that you're really awesome. But if you wish to speak with me or visit, just write a letter and attach it to a raven headed towards New Draconia, and just sign it off to a Nefari Darno. She is my mistress of whispers.
That's a pretty cool name as well, to be honest.
Which one?
2 brackets. Close brackets. I'm gonna have to get that name
Yeah.
another time. Something of secrets, did you say? Sorry.
Whispers.
Mistress of whispers.
Don't tell Gerald about that. He might find that way more attractive.
You might even know.
Now, you know where to reach me if you do find yourself crossing over into Westrum and into the vast new world that it would be for you, as Valdur has been for me. At the very top of the northeastern corner, you will need to be flying for some of the city, but you will find the now rebuilding floating city of Nodraconia. So if you're ever around, stop by.
Out of interest, how does that keep afloat? By arcane means or
By godly means.
Oh,
Flying.
I don't like the gods, but hey, they have to keep a city afloat. Am I right?
Well, they are good for some things and not for others.
True.
And at this point, just as you're getting closer to saying goodbye, you hear the rattle of those 8 arachnid legs just begin to clutter and clamber around from the bottom of the ship, over the hand railings again.
I was going to have a lift.
Are you leaving now?
And Cyanide just looks and sort of puts her hands together very peacefully.
Yes, my friend, we are going to take our leave now. I just want to thank you for the...
And Kuri just darts and grabs her and picks her up at his full height, about 7+ feet, and just holds her up.
I'm going to miss you.
And just hugs and holds her tightly. And she kind of just grins, and you just hear,
I am sure we will see you again. And if not, I'm sure I can find you. You're not too hard to hide.
and Kuri just puts her down.
It has been a pleasure, my queen.
And leans down, almost so much so that his head is pretty much at where Gerald's head sits when he's standing. So extremely low bow to Cyanide. And then he just like stands there and just kind of looking at her and waiting patiently for a goodbye wave. Is there anything anyone wants to do before Addy and Gerald come back up and then those two leave?
I would not know that they are leaving, so no.
No, I think we're all. I'm going to ask Addy. When she does come up.
Also, I think Theron has frozen.
I also think this.
Yeah,
But,
yes.
Yeah. Unless he's really good at staying still.
But we'll keep going for a few more minutes and then sort it out.
Addy.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
You know when you're in your dragon form,
Yes.
is there a way that we could?
Give us 1 second while we reconnect everything. So Adelon leans sort of into you, Tara, and just smiles as she waits for your question.
Is there any chance that when you're in your dragon form, if you have any of your scales that we could keep, or
I have several scales that are no longer there because of fighting.
only if it's okay with you, obviously.
You wish to pick the flesh and scales from my hide?
A nice one would be lovely as a reminder.
What do you think? My heart and my love? She's looking down as she looks down to Gerald, and Gerald just looks up. I mean, a parting gift is never a bad thing. You are right. Well, I will change as we leave. Take one from my tail, and then we shall go.
Thank you.
And she straight away leans down, picking Gerald up and just pulling him in for a big smooch and a hug as she like bear hugs him. And you hear just as Cyanide is kind of like getting on her cloak again and readjusting. And she just looks over and waiting for the kissing and the hugging to stop. You hear Courage just off the side.
It's so beautiful.
And just begins to well up like at this sight of closeness and love. And
before Cena jumps on, I want to say to her something.
Mhm.
I want to walk up to Cena and give her a hug. And while I'm in that hugging phase, I'm going to say, "You're a fantastic mother."
I know. And she just pats your back and gives you a rub before pushing away.
And then that's all I want to say.
Thank you all for everything. You have been nice and mostly pleasant. I'm sure we will see each other again. But
Yeah, if we don't die.
And she reaches into her pouch and pulls out a small black talisman and just flicks it to you, Theron. Just speak my name and ask for help when you really need it.
Okay.
And Addy puts Gerald down, and you just hear, "My heart will always be here for you, my love." And Gerald just responds, "Until we meet again, my darling." And you see Gerald's kind of like proudly standing there with his like arms akimbo, with a sort of like keeping his beak up, and trying to hold something as Sienard sits on the side of the hand railing, and you notice Addy as she heads over and sits on the side, but then she just lets herself fall off the edge before you hear that rumble as the dragon wings begin to flap up. The ship itself again and shifting and creaking as Adelon, as her ancient silver dragon form just is monumental above you again. She holds her tail down slightly for you, Tara, as you kind of get a small little blade and just like kind of chip a scale or two away.
Yeah.
How many scales are you trying to get in this moment?
She did say one, but if it does look like through fighting,
But you're
they
going
look
to be a
damaged,
cheeky prick.
I will take one, try to shout out if I can take a few more. You
just hear as you shout out,
Take as many as you can before we leave.
Then I
Just no scales left.
voice script.
Hells.
No.
Where's the money, boys?
I will take one that look. I'll take damaged ones.
Okay.
Because
So okay,
that's what she did.
I'll say and note this down. You have one solid ancient silver dragon scale,
Yeah.
and then you have damaged bits that would make up the amount of 2 scales. Not as pristine or perfect as the one, but so altogether you have 3 scales worth. One is pristine and perfect, and the other 2 are just bits that collectively make up the size of of 2 large scales.
Cool. No worries.
I always say with the ship moving that much, we'll go up to see what's happening.
You see that.
Why the ship?
Yeah, Adelon is just sort of floating and just in the air next to the ship in her dragon form, and Sienard is just sitting on that side on the handrail and are just about to step off.
What's happening exactly?
We need to venture off, but we will see you again. And don't worry, I will look into all of that for you.
Oh, Sienard, just
Right.
before you go, this talisman, will it work in a arcane presence? Like,
I don't know, you'll have to try it. Okay, be safe, don't die, don't kill anyone, goodbye.
And she just leaps off the side, and very quickly you witness Adelon with a loud guttural and the ship rocks and creaks back and forth as you see the monumental, colossal form of the ancient silver dragon and Gerald's heart begin to drift off into the distance and through the cloud cover. Now, yeah.
What's it? Once they start flying off, I'll look to where Red was laying. If she's not sort of rolled.
She's kind of slid a little bit, but not too far away.
Okay. So once they've flown off, then I'll just start. I'll sort of move to her and just sort of, once everything's sort of calmed, sort of look over to it and go, so what exactly are we doing? With, I'll sort of gesture to Red.
And just as you ask that question openly to everyone, the winds begin to die down away from the... and the clouds return to where their original spaces were. Silence, but the wind hits all of you once again. And all your attention is drawn back to the immediate ambush that's coming. What to do with your prisoner/ally, and getting ever closer to your destination, with only days to go. And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode, and come back next week to pick up from there and to see where the journey goes and where the adventure trails off to. I will say, again, you are very, just completely meta, you are very close. You are getting, like, you're in the last few days of travel now. So, yeah, we'll be looking forward to finding land very soon. To everyone watching, thank you so much for sticking around. We hope you've enjoyed it. It's a weird mix of gruesome horror, gory shit, and then love and goodbyes and friendliness and information and adventure. It's a whole fucking whirlwind of a mix. But we love every second, and we hope you do as well. And with all that said and done, thank you very much for watching. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and we'll see you again next time.